Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Micah and Steve.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode.
Of Live,
Let
Thrive. What is up, Micah? Man,
I'm chilling, Stevie Stacks. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great on this beautiful Tuesday. And this is your favorite short-term, midterm, long-term, PadSplit, all that fun stuff. Podcast in the world, coming at you from Fort Worth and Arlington, Texas. This is Live, Let, Thrive.
Let's go, man. It's been a minute again, huh?
It's been a minute, and this is episode 327, by the way. 327 episodes. Yeah, we took a little break, and the holidays are in full steam, and we get busy, and we got a million events, and when you get multiple kids, you got a lot more stuff. You know how it is. It's life, but it's all worth it, man. And we're gonna talk some good topics today. First and foremost, I wanted to bring up the World Cup pricing strategy because we are here in Arlington. You know, you live in Arlington. We got places in Grand Prairie, surrounding cities. So yeah, I'll ask you first. What jumps out to you in your pricing strategy as towards the World Cup coming in? It's going to be between June and July of this year, 2026.
I don't honestly, I don't have anything in this area. My nearest one is Richardson, and so I work in government, so we have to plan for the World Cup. And we're expecting most of the in Richardson. We might get a little overflow from like the Dallas side or whatever. The only thing I could see in Richardson is maybe if people don't know where the stadium is, they might, you know how we always talk about it. They say everything's Dallas, but this is really Arlington. So if you go get a place in Dallas, you might be far as hell from the stadium. But I don't have any. But if I did have something, oh, I'd probably 5 to 6 times increase my rate because it's going to be. This is bigger than football, right? This is the number one sport in the world.
World.
Coming here for 9 games, and top it off. You know who's playing here, right?
I looked, yeah.
Messi is coming. So yeah, you know how much a ticket is?
I seen they starting around. I mean, the ones that are out there because they're releasing more and more as they go, right? I think I
Yeah,
seen them for around $900 for a ticket, just a regular nosebleed. Are they higher than that now?
1,200 for a nosebleed. If you want
Hmm.
to, like the sideline, that's 10,000. I was like,
Wow.
damn. So
Wow.
yeah, you can definitely raise your prices if that's the ticket point that's coming here. So you can definitely raise your prices for sure.
Now, Mr. Mark Simpson from Boostly, he sends out some cool stuff, and he mentioned
Oh
the
yeah,
the World Cup. I don't know if you read what his write-up was in the World Cup,
I did not. What did he
but
say?
some of the one thing that stood out to me is everybody's thinking, oh, everybody's gonna come here and watch the games. Not exactly.
Mm-mm.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be, he said, like of the people that are coming here, about 10% will actually get a ticket to a game, whereas the 90% of the people that are coming here are just gonna be here for the fan zone experiences.
yeah,
Just to go party with their fans and be close to the action and just have a good time and that's what 90% of the people are here for. And so that's to in his write up, that was part of the strategy. Are you trying to fight for that 10%? The ones that are actually going to the games, or are you fighting for the 90%, to that just want to be here for the experience?
yeah.
And his point was, and I'm not sure if I agree with it too much, but his point was that the people that are here for the fan zone stuff, you're gonna want places that are walking distance to the fan zones, which to me, I don't know if I agree with that. But he said people with tickets is different because they can be anywhere around the vicinity to come and go for the games. It doesn't matter. They just want to watch the games, whatever. But um, walking distance to the state, I mean, there's still Ubers. We still got, public transit to get them to and from the fan zones. You know, as long as they're within a 30-minute radius, maybe a little further, then they can still enjoy all the fun stuff and then Uber back to where they're staying.
So I just got out of a 3 hour meeting about FIFA at work.
Oh.
This is what's expected. My coworkers made a good point. He said after FIFA comes to DFW, they're gonna treat it just like the Super Bowl and they ain't gonna ever come back. Because one he made a good point. He goes, think about it. You're having it in Arlington. It's gonna pack out the stadium. The stadium is probably never gonna ever be this packed again. They're gonna fill it to the T. And there's no public transportation in Arlington.
No.
Uber's work.
Uber.
However, you got 100. I'm gonna say this: you have 500,000 people needing an Uber. Okay, yeah. Now, what kind of traffic concerns do you bring in? And then on top of that, like that 90% he's talking about, they're going to be trying to Uber over here late a little bit, catch some of the bars. And ain't too many bars in North Arlington besides Social House, the little pub across the street by Walmart, and then, Division. Those aren't really bars. Those are strip clubs. I don't know if they're showing the game in those, but I don't know. But it's going to be, I'm suspecting that it's going to be a little, I don't know. Like, I would say walking distance. And the reason why is because it would need to be walking distance, but you can't have walking distance because Arlington, of course, shut down the short-term rentals. So you're limited on the entertainment district. I'm pretty sure that stuff's already booked. If not booked, it's going to be booked at a high rate. So the stuff around the entertainment district, you're limited. Now you do have the hotels, Live by Lowe's. I don't even want to know. Honestly, if I was somebody, I would look at how much they're charging per night. Look at how much they're charging per night and see what you can offer more amenities than them, especially if you have a pool. See what they're offering because that's going to be booked. So after, let's say, all the entertainment district gets booked, now you're going to have to go farther out, right? You're going to have to start going into Grand Prairie, Irving, Dallas, Fort Worth. So I don't know. Like, I think his advice, it's dependent upon, you have to know how Dallas is set up, how the DFW is set up, especially Arlington. Arlington's going to be limited on places unless, I don't know if there's some undercover Airbnbers. I'm pretty sure there are, but enough to cover that, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
No, they did say, one of the fan zones is going to be at Fair Park in Dallas. That's one of the fan zones. Yeah, I know. And what makes me laugh is like, walking distance to Fair Park, you might get shot on the way.
That's the hood. Yeah, you're in the hood.
You might get shot.
Yeah, you're definitely in the hood.
I don't know if you want to walk through the
hood. Oh man, I didn't know they're gonna have one in Fair Park.
Fair Park is one of the
they ain't coming back, bro.
Zones.
They're about to get robbed.
I think Fort Worth is another official fan zone. But Arlington,
Dockyards?
I'm not sure. I need to look it up. I thought somewhere in Fort Worth was so, like they each have their own thing, and then of course Arlington on the grounds. Jerry's gonna have it's gonna be a big. They're probably gonna close off all those streets around there and have like a huge fan zone around the stadium. I would imagine.
I would imagine too, because you're limited in Arlington. I'm surprised. Frisco would have to be a fan zone by the what's it called? By the Ford, by the practice stadium,
by the soccer stadium over there.
Yeah. I would assume
it's a long trip.
That's a long haul
too.
That's a long haul. Like you're limited on. I don't know. That's interesting. We got to look that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now while we're chatting.
And the reason why I say that is because DFW. Oh, go ahead.
What are the official fan zones in Arlington for the World Cup?
Yeah, because I think you're gonna be limited on space because Arlington ain't got too much,
So Arlington
bars.
Arlington Entertainment District is the main hub, near the stadiums. Other spots, official fan zones, feces. This doesn't tell me. Clean zones, likely Dallas or I heard Fair Park though for sure. I'll find out
probably because the stadium's out there. The Cotton Bowl stadium's out there, right?
Yeah, that that's the last time it was. When did they come? The last World Cup was it 92 or 96 here? It might have been 90. It was 92 or 96. One of those 2 years. But they had it here, and Dallas is one of the sites, and they had at the Cotton Bowl was where they played.
Okay.
So the original World Cup, I mean, the one that came here before was at they had it at the Cotton Bowl. And then of course throughout the rest of the country to LA, New York, all that stuff.
Okay. So I'm looking at it. So Fair Park is one. Okay, I got them. I got all the
Okay, cool,
names.
cool, cool.
Okay. Fair Park, Dallas. Clyde Warren Park, downtown Dallas. Deep Ellum, downtown Arlington Entertainment District. Those are all the fan zones.
Deep Ellum, huh?
Get shot in Deep Ellum too nowadays.
How many
Throwing it out there.
murders? How many murders?
Yeah, Deep Ellum ain't what it used to be, but like I don't know. I'm gonna say this. If you go anywhere, like if you try to go down, if you go anywhere, you better be taking an Uber. Like it's gonna be crazy here. It's gonna be crazy, in my opinion. Only reason I kind of want to go to the stadiums because Messi's gonna be playing. Those Argentina days are gonna be crazy. And the reason I was thinking about it was because I was seeing does Federico still live here?
Now he lives in upstate New York,
Oh man,
but I heard that he's gonna be in town for that. I heard he's gonna be in
dog.
town for that.
If you speak the language, they'll let you volunteer and escort the team onto the field. That's I was like,
You, you,
man, I would have done that shit.
I have a buddy at work
Okay,
passionate about soccer. He's from Puerto Rico, and
okay,
he's passionate about soccer. And he said he put in to be a volunteer,
yeah.
and he got turned down. He said, I guess so many people put in. But his thing was just to get in the stadium and then, all right, peace out, take the bib off, and go go watch the game. That was
That's
his.
funny.
That's probably everybody trying to do that.
Yeah. My coworker got she 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 got accepted to the tryouts. So she has to go to damn, where does she have to go? She just talked to us about it. She has to go somewhere like in Dallas and they have to do tryouts to be on there out there. I was like, damn, for real. So yeah, some people got in. So
Hmm.
yeah, see, but that makes me think too though. Remember we were talking about housing the people coming here? Maybe a lot of those people are local talent and then like maybe like camera crews and stuff like that. Cause I think
Hmm.
that's where the money is. Me personally, I don't think it's housing the fans. I don't think the money's there. I think the money's housing like the camera crews, those people. I think but they might book hotels. You know what I mean? Like, and they probably need to be close to the venue.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of workers putting all the stuff together that are coming to town. So it'll be need a, they're gonna be here for a long time, right? Before
Yeah,
and
that too.
after, right? Taking it all down afterwards. So yeah, that's a good target. Not just the fans that are gonna go to the
Yeah.
games, but the ones that are here to build all the stuff they got to build and take it all down.
We can even go a little further. The fans might be your biggest liability to house.
To tear your stuff up,
Man, I mean, you out the
especially if their team loses.
yeah. For real, you out of the country, you bring like 10, 15 dudes with you, and you drinking beer, man. I don't know.
Man.
That might be the low-hanging fruit in this situation. You have to look at
Ooh.
stuff like that,
How many
right?
how many claims is Airbnb getting ready for to turn down?
Oh man. Think about it. In the World Cup too, like the World Cup's about to be going on here, Seattle, and other places. So it's like that's a lot of claims, bro.
Better put that $5,000 deposit on their credit cards.
Man, bro, I wouldn't be taking reservations through Airbnb. You know they ain't gonna let you,
They ain't
bro.
gonna pay nothing.
Hell
They don't
no.
they don't pay anything no more, man.
Damn. But yeah,
Maybe
that's
some bed sheets. They might pay you for some bed sheets. That's about it.
for real, man. That's how they operate nowadays.
So it's a big deal, man. It's a huge deal. And I guess, I was talking to my assistant, my partner Manu, right?
Okay.
And we were talking about the World Cup, and of course, reading all the stuff that he could read, and then running it all through ChatGPT, best
Yep.
strategies, and I did say one thing. I was like, you know, people we know in our circles and stuff. There's some really great pricing strategists that'll turn it into calculus and show you what you're supposed to do. And I reminded Manu, I was like, listen, oh, because he mentioned something like, okay, so we're gonna turn down any corporate requests because we want to keep that month clear, right?
Hmm.
And I was like, we're a corporate housing company.
Correct.
I'm not an Airbnb company. I don't want to
Gotcha.
compete, and there's some stone cold killers out there at Airbnb. They're great at it, and the Sean Resiges, and he puts all the data out there. He's great at it, and a lot of friends we know. I'm not. I don't want to compete against them. I don't want to compete against other Airbnbers for that demographic, like you say. I
Same.
love corporate housing. I want to fill all my houses with corporate people, fill all my, condos, apartments with corporate people, and call it a day, get paid a good profit. Cause, okay, let's say you make like you said, you want to raise the price 4 times, 5 times. Let's say you make that, hit gold that month, right? And you're still in an arbitrage for 2 years, or you're still in a house that you're gonna keep, rinsing out, or you pick something up because you think you want to hit golds. You had a great month. Okay, cool. But I'd rather have a great year. I'd rather have a great 2 year. I mean, I'm a corporate housing first. So that's how I'm looking at it. You know? I mean, what do you think about that?
Um, it depends on how you look at it because I'm the same way. I'd rather take like right now, we're slow as hell because of Christmas, and so people aren't traveling as much. So I get the last minute higher price reservations, which is cool. But I'd rather have a corporate person take over that whole time. However, I still raise my prices, and the reason is, but I set limitations on how many days you can stay or whatever. But the reason is I still raise my prices is I would still want that premium of that time of the year. Like FIFA, even though I'm targeting corporate housing or whatever, I would still want that per night premium because hey, you're coming in during a time where once in a lifetime opportunity is happening, right? We might not ever like the last one was in 96 or 92 like you said.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
probably won't see this another 30 years. So I would take advantage of it. Like that month I would probably price it a little higher. That June month or July month, I think it's July or is it June? That month, those months, I'd price them a little higher. Plus, it's summertime anyway, so you already got that premium coming. So I would price them higher, but I would still definitely take a midterm over like holding some FIFA fans for a few. Well, it might be a couple of weeks, right? Because you got people coming in and out. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
yeah. Now,
'Cause
I will
yeah.
say this: the FIFA fans will probably be low maintenance, but that bill of them breaking stuff, that might be a problem because whenever you have, you, I don't want to be political here, but guys are less maintenance on a property than a female is, right? Like
Really?
oh man, come on,
Why you say no, no,
they're gonna have
please.
less complaints. Come on now, it's gonna be less complaints. They
Oh,
just
you meant in that regard,
yeah
in
yeah
that
yeah in that regard,
complaining
not like
regard.
oh yeah like complaints and
I was gonna
stuff
say
like that.
destroying stuff. I don't know. Drunken
Oh,
guys
just
probably.
yeah, destroying stuff for sure. That's what I was saying. You're gonna have that bill that that
But
cleaning
kids,
charge.
kids are the worst though, right? They destroy
Yeah, as
stuff.
far as breaking stuff, kids. As far as complaining, it might be like that woman who's traveling. You always get
Oh
that
my
whenever
God.
you get the family traveling. It's the guy telling you all this stuff, and it's really his wife. You could tell, like, hey, the toilet seat was up when we walked in, stuff like that. You're like, oh, this is your wife saying
Mm,
this stuff, but you know what I mean.
yeah.
So it's just one of those things. Like, it's kind of like if you do take the FIFA crowd, and if you take the FIFA crowd, you might, get a little bit easier to deal with guests, but a harder checkout. I'll say that. So, but
Hmm.
I would still raise the price on them and just upcharge for that month. Let them know, hey, FIFA's coming, because I mean, you might be able to make off of FIFA what you could make in a whole month. So, it also depends on your strategy. If you just like, oh well, I'll just take the month like I normally do, take that monthly booking and do that as well. You know,
No, no, I have been thinking like this. I've been telling buddies, "Hey man, why don't you just go out of town for a few weeks and I'll turn your house into a money maker for you. You can go and have a nice vacation."
I mean, people did that in Houston. I mean, I ain't mad at that. I've been telling people. I mean, people did that in Houston for the Super Bowl. Like my cousin was renting a house, and we all went down there in 2017 for the Super Bowl. We went down there like 20, 30 cars deep, right? So everybody blowing up air mattresses, sleeping on floors, whatever they had to do. But like his neighbors, the whole neighborhood, everybody packed up their stuff and rented out their place, bro. It was like crazy. And we're in far north Houston, right? So
Yeah.
the whole neighborhood, they were Airbnb, and we were the only ones where my cousin was renting there, and we were all sleeping on floors and everything. But like, then people were charging for that weekend 3-4 grand for the weekend. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So
Mm.
it's one of them situations, you know.
Yeah, so I even told the wife, I was like, I said we can go on a nice Disney cruise and rent out our house and get that FIFA money.
You
It'll pay for
could,
the whole cruise, man.
man. It could.
We
And
got a swimming pool. We
okay,
got all kinds of stuff going on.
yeah, it definitely could. Like you could say, okay, I'm gonna go on a Disney cruise, get the FIFA money to pay it off, rent out the house. I mean, it ain't bad, you know, because I ain't gonna lie, a Disney cruise expensive as hell.
Man.
You seen one? Man.
Yeah, I've been looking. I've been looking, man.
Yeah, I was like, man, I don't know about these kids, man, because I've been looking at one too. I was like, dang. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
5 day cruise cost you about eight or nine G's, man. It's crazy.
my God. Yeah, facts. Yeah, facts.
You want to pay
But
more, you got to pay more to if you don't want to stand in lines all day. So,
see, and that, so it's funny you said that. So my uncle, we planning out a family trip, right? And we were like, hey, where's somewhere we could go? Because went to Disney World for Malachi's sixth birthday, but we had a hookup, man. We had he had a friend, and she worked at Disney, so she got everything like 50% off. So shit, we were making a killing up in there. But
nice.
we're trying to go now. But then we look at the cost because we don't have that discount anymore. Like, bro, it's expensive. Like, if you
Mm,
go there, like, we're just going to Disney World, not even Disneyland, not Disney World.
hmm
You start looking at it, you're like, dang, bro, this is expensive as hell because you got to pay to get in the park, pay for your kids, pay for rides, pay for food. It's like, dang, bro,
hmm
like, yeah, it's expensive. Sure.
Man, yeah, it is. But hey, it's the power of the brand, right?
Straight up, man. But yeah, you got a lot of good topics on here, man. You really went in. I was like, oh yeah, these are good topics.
And I was whoa.
What was
That
that?
was loud.
Oh,
I was
my bad.
no, 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 no. It was I think it was me when I clicked on the check mark for I think it's connected to my computer. The list, the
Okay.
checklist is connected to my computer. When I hit it, it like bang, it went and my headphones anyway. So I don't know about you if you heard it. But
All right.
anyways, I was gonna ask you, to switch topics real quick. In what ways are you using AI in your business?
Ooh, man, I use it for dang near everything. Right now, I'll tell you what I'm working on with AI right now. I'm working to try to automate everything through Atlas, which is ChatGPT's new browser. So I'm trying to use Atlas to answer guest messages, create tickets, um, guest messaging, ticketing, um, reaching out to my actual cleaning team and to my actual cleaning like the handyman, reaching out to them, creating like if something needs to be fixed through home warranty, having it go out and reach out to those things using Atlas. So that's one thing I'm working on. And then right now I'm using it mainly for messaging. Um, I'm using it for advertising. So like me and Mahogany, we're doing a lot of advertising videos. Hey, we have places available here, here, and here. I'm using it for my other part of my business, like the wholesaling part of my business. So anything that we can do, like now with the Sora videos, I can have it make videos for me, right? I'm having to make videos, like do the advertising videos. So I use it for anything that I think I can outsource, I can do it. So I use it for. So right now I'm going through my SOPs and I'm gonna see if I can use ChatGPT to go through my SOPs and have it see if it can automate all that stuff. Because I think we're in an AI driven world. We were just talking about that at work. Like I think we're in an AI driven world, and you don't want to get left behind. But you don't have to go AI. It's just what I'm seeing the future behind it. That's why I'm putting all my chips behind Nvidia as well.
Damn. Yeah, I had a discussion with the friend Susanna. Shout out to Susanna if she's listening to the show. But she's the one out of Canada that's doing arbitrages here and stuff like that.
Okay.
And she had mentioned she uses AI. she sent it to me. I don't know. There's a lot of them, but she uses something that like Host Buddy, something like that. There's an
Yeah,
AI.
I use Host Buddy.
Oh, okay, and she says, "Oh, it'll do everything for you. You don't." I think she has one VA. She
Yep.
goes, "She don't worry about the night shift. She don't worry about overnight shift.
Yep.
You know, because I told her I have someone on every shift."
Yep.
in case something comes up. If I would just old school, I guess old school. And then my partner Manu, he's does everything corporate. He's the corporate guy. He does all that stuff, handles everything corporate, all the leases, all the dealing with them. But we have the I have the team doing the each shift that covers anything that's going on in every shift, days, afternoons, midnights, and then and I'll say this, they do utilize AI, it answers, has the automated questions and helps, answer things as best as it can. But I've always been like, well, I like the fact that I have a real person to help out in situations, And she said, "Oh, well, AI will do everything for you, and it helps." She goes, It's actually making it too easy for my virtual assistants. They don't got to do much, just kind of look what's going on with the messages." And I was like, okay. Um, I think she said her goal was to have just do AI, have no virtual assistant. And that's like, okay, I know it sounds cool. But then it's funny. We had that conversation, and the next day she's like calling me, "Do you know a locksmith?" And she's dealing with the situation. I guess her VA, AI couldn't figure it out for her, but the VA couldn't figure it out, right? And she got a hold of a Karen that was going crazy, threatening to sue, all this crazy stuff because she couldn't get in this one apartment building and no one was answering. So it was like those kind of situations where I don't got to worry about those things because my virtual assistants will handle that for me, right? Hers is kind of new, so I don't know if she couldn't handle a situation. Mine can handle a situation. They can find a locksmith
Yeah.
and get someone out there and do whatever. And I don't have to talk to a Karen for an hour screaming at me about suing. I don't gotta talk to any of them. So I like that fact. So it sounds great and everything, but I still know that I call major corporations, and then if it's an AI thing, they try their hardest to keep us from talking to a real person, right? Because they don't want real
Mhm.
people either. And I still I kind of hate it. I hate dealing with the AI, you know?
Me too.
I know they're getting better and that's cool, but as far as right now, if major corporations are spending all this money for this AI to deal with us and the chat bots and all that stuff, and it still doesn't answer my questions, or if I have a unique question, it can't help me, it can't answer me, and then have to sit there for an hour to wait for somebody a real person to talk to. I hate that.
So this is the cool thing about AI. Once you know that's an issue, you can train AI to fix it. So if you know it needs a locksmith, you can give it a database of locksmiths in your area, and then it can either call or text those locksmiths straight from your Google Voice account. So it's the same thing, it's just how you look at it, right?
Hmm.
So you you probably your VA works, right? Which my VA works too. She uses AI. I gave her access to our ChatGPT account. It works, but it's just the same thing as training a VA. Everything that the VA doesn't know, you just train it on. The only thing about AI is if you give it access, like you can create an AI agent that has no access to the internet, but only has access to your resources. Okay. It would only access my resources, but you can tell it, hey, if you don't have access, if it's not in my resources, you can go browse the internet for the answer. So it could have went and got a locksmith, set up an appointment for you and everything. It's just how you train it. That's all it is. It's the same exact thing of training a person. You just have to train the VA. So I'm kind of seeing, like, at first I was against it. I was like, man, I want the human interaction. But then now I'm just like, I wouldn't check it out. I would even run my business because I know AI is so good to where I would be the one answering the phone because I think I could train an AI agent that good to be able to answer everything without ever having to get on the phone. Even resolve a pissed off Karen, because Host Buddy AI will tell you if the guest is pissed off or not. Like, that's the cool part about it. I'm like, damn, it'll tell you if the guest is pissed off.
You
Yeah.
know what's funny? You say that.
Yeah.
I was calling AT&T over something, right?
Yeah.
And then they put you through the robot tries to talk to you. It was either AT&T or I don't know. Pick your corporation. They all have them. And it was a AI lady talking to me or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, can you explain the situation? How can I help you?" And I was like, and I told him that whatever the problem was. It wasn't something on their list, I guess. I don't freaking know.
Yeah.
But then I just you know what? It's a freaking robot. I said, I want to talk to a fucking agent. I screamed at it
Yeah.
like you know.
Yeah.
And then she goes, please refrain from saying inappropriate words.
Oh
Like
man,
kind of
that's
kind of
funny.
got she got onto me, man. And I was like,
Yeah.
this some stuff, some robot telling me what to do. I was like, I thought it was like no big deal. I'm gonna cuss out a robot. It's not. I wouldn't do that to a real person. I might get a little heated sometimes when the real person from
Yeah.
wherever country they're from is trying to like just read a script to me, and I'm trying to get a damn answer, question answered. I'm not gonna cuss him out, but I cuss out a robot until the robot got mad at me, man. They said, "Hey, cut your shit out, bro."
It's it's
They should
it's
make a ghetto.
crazy.
They should make a ghetto ass AI, right? Just to talk shit
Oh,
back.
trust me, somebody out there doing it, man. You already know. You already know somebody's doing it.
That'd be freaking hilarious.
But
But yeah, that's just where I'm at. I'm sure it's gonna improve. And you said it could make a phone call to a locksmith for you.
yeah, you can do all that now, bro. Like I tell you, man, AI can do a lot.
So, dude,
And
homeboy
there's
answers AAA locksmith. How can I help you? And then the robot
now,
will tell him the whole
yeah,
thing.
it sounds very. Have you not received them from cold callers yet?
Yes, and they
Yeah,
you can
it's
tell
very. Yeah,
it's
you can
getting
tell.
better. It's getting better, but
Yeah, you can tell. However, it's getting better. But I mean, if they're willing to, they're trying to make some money, they'll talk to it. But at the same time, texting's much easier. We do a lot of our stuff through text.
yeah, texting is easier, and plus, like the big locksmith people, which it's still a heavy mom and pop thing, man. Locksmiths,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, the prices
it
vary.
is.
You can get someone out there, he'll fix it for 100. You can get the same problem, another dude 300, 350. It's just like
And I'll be honest, a lot of the stuff that you can fix with like a home warranty is pretty easy for like an AI agent to do too.
okay.
Yeah, that's
And,
pretty easy.
and so here's the thing. With the house, you have your own house, and there you have ways to get someone in. An AI can handle that. But when you're dealing with an apartment complex with the front lobby and all that crap, and you add that in the mix, that's when it makes it a little harder for the AI to figure out.
If you give it the information, it can. But yeah, I could see an issue with that. A house is easier. They can set up a code. AI
Yeah,
agent can set up a code.
set up a code. You got backup keys everywhere. I mean, there's ways to do it.
Also, one thing I will tell guys to do, like if you really want to get the most out of AI, especially like ChatGPT, let it know about your entire business model, give it access to all your files and stuff. And what you can do is there's this thing called ChatGPT Pulse, and I use it religiously, right? I have it pulled up right now. And what it does is it can tell you everything that's going on in your market for short-term rentals and midterm rentals based upon what it knows about your about what it knows about your business. So right now, to December 9th. So basically gives you news about everything that's going on in your business. So these are the news it gave me today. And these are some of the news. It said tested channel mix for DFW in Central Arkansas, 5 lead generation paths with scripts and follow-up cadences tailored to midterm rentals in DFW in Central Arkansas. And it has a full rundown. And then you can tell your GPT agent to go and do these lead generation paths for the day. Another one is LinkedIn outreach scripts for recruiters and adjusters. 4 ready to send DMs designed for nurse housing, ALE, and corporate mobility partners to help you book meetings faster. Like it's a lot of stuff that it can do because what it does is I ain't gonna lie, I pay for the $200 a month version of ChatGPT. It gives me access to everything that's going on in the short term and midterm rental space, and it knows all about ALE, insurance vendors, healthcare staff, and hotlines. It's so good now. I went to the other day. I had it go and find the top nursing staffing agencies in Central Arkansas and give me their email and phone number, put it in our database, and we send them an email. Like
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful, man.
Has it
Especially for like, go ahead.
has it landed you some big
We
contracts?
this one we just started it. We haven't gotten anything, and it's healthcare. That's like one of our later on down the lines. It hasn't, but like for insurance, oh, it hits all day. Yeah, whenever they come through, we usually one of our emails. That's how it gets blasted out from one of our emails, man. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like they even have insurance and ALE vendor contact lines, who to talk to. Like, bro, it's. I tell people, use it as much as you can, especially like ChatGPT Pulse is huge and Atlas. Those are two of the things that are coming.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I need to get. Oh well, that's the thing. I have my I share the chat GPT with my team, of course.
yeah,
I'm cool with them. I'm the type of CEO, hey, I don't care how the job gets done, as long as the job gets done. That's me.
yeah.
That's my philosophy. But and that was another question I was gonna ask you. What is your biggest strength as a CEO? And then after that, what is your biggest weakness as a CEO?
My biggest strength is innovation. Like I'm very innovative. I'm innovative. I love like the AI. I love tech. Um, so that makes my business very innovative. My biggest weakness, sometimes it costs too much, but I'm still paying it. So I gotta start trimming fat because I have to learn. I need a CFO. That's honestly that's my biggest weak. I'm not a good CFO.
Hey,
Yeah,
make ChatGPT your CFO.
definitely could. I'm working on that too. I'm working on that too because it's things that it's some fat I need to shred from the business that I'm working on because I'm working on that too because I even upload my profit and loss to them every month. Like, hey, we're profitable this month, and at the end of this year, it should have a full year's data. Okay, where do we need to cut? And just hey, have it act as a chief financial officer. Tell me where we need to cut, and we go from there. Yeah, it's some cool stuff with it. But yeah, how about you? Your biggest strength?
So my biggest strength is is teaching and allocating, like teaching some like a VA or whatever
Mm-hmm.
how to do something, and then letting them do it, trusting them to do it, you know? And so it's hard to, it's hard to do, especially, when you're in the beginning because you're watching every penny, you're scared to let them make a mistake. That could be my rent, man. Um, you
Yeah.
know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my god.
But the fact that I was able to allocate and let them do things and learn on the job and make mistakes and stuff like that, it's made my life a lot easier in that regard
Yeah.
because I don't even have to do very much anymore. I mean, I'll follow the business and stuff, but I really don't have to. They know how to do everything way better than me, and that's
Yeah.
cool. Uh, Biggest weakness, I wrote this down. Was, I'm sure I got a lot of weaknesses. I guess I take on too much at one time. A lot of opportunities that come my way, I take on a lot at one time. So I'm always juggling a bunch of things that are
Okay.
coming my way, and I can't. It's hard for me to say no. Because I see like the positives. Oh man, if I land this house, if I land this management thing for this person, and then some of them I'm like, I already, I'm getting better at it.
That
Like
might be a strength though, bro.
taking on too much stuff.
It may be a weakness, kind of, but I think the strength in that is you're able to see the positive. Because I think whenever you're able to see the positive in things and you're focused on the positive, only more positive will come.
Yeah, yeah,
But I mean, I think it might feel overwhelming in the moment, though. I think that's what it is. It's overwhelming in the moment. Is that what it is?
yeah, yeah, big time. Because then I
Yeah.
can't focus on one thing because I'm juggling too many things. That's my biggest
Okay.
weakness.
Oh, so then the delegation thing kicks in. If you delegate it, all of it or some of it, then
Yeah,
it'd be easier on you. Okay.
but I still have to like when a potential client wants to talk about us managing something for them or a primo arbitrage comes up or a house that I'm gonna buy, I'll probably just try
Yeah.
all three things, and that should maybe I shouldn't, but it's just like, oh, it's all good opportunities to me. What I have been a little bit better about is seeing sensing when a client's not going to be a good fit. It's
Ooh,
great to take
yeah.
on a client and get paid. That's always good, but how much is that one client going to weigh your company down?
Man, that's good. That's good to know.
I'm perfect at it, but I'm learning. Okay, this particular person, they kind of know what they want to do. They kind of don't know what they want to do. They want to try corporate, but they don't want to do Airbnb or vice versa. And they're gonna get the house, they're gonna furnish it, and it's like then you have to deal with all that, and it's like a uphill. Oh man, it saps your energy.
I'm happy you said that because I now have a checklist. Like if you're in an HOA and you can't do Airbnb and midterms, I'm just not going to take it on because I don't want you sitting empty for long periods of time.
That's that's exactly it.
Yes,
Because
I don't want
then you don't want an unhappy client, then that weighs on you.
because right now I have someone who's been empty for about 2 weeks. However, they won't allow
They
pets.
can't do. Oh yeah, that
They
nope.
won't.
That's
Yeah, see, they won't allow pets. They have a fenced yard, but they don't want pets. They are in a HOA, so
so
they really have a minimum that they're supposed to be doing. But
30-day minimum or
yeah, we're skirting it by allowing for like 7 day minimums. But it's like, yeah, man, you got to know the clients. Like if you're in an area where short terms allowed and we're focusing on midterms, I can work with you all day because I can make you profitable. But anything other than that, it's just like, mm, you know. So and it's just tough. But you have to know who's for you because that's how you pumpkin play in your business, right? Knowing who's
mm,
for you, what's for you and what's not for you.
yeah, yeah, and we've talked about it on this show before about when we had Jesse on, Jesse Vasquez,
Yeah,
and he says, he don't do any short-term rentals, just 100% midterm.
yeah,
And it doesn't matter if you can do if a place allows short-term or not because he doesn't need to fill in his calendar. So I'm like, I still want the I still want the opportunity to fill it in with short-term when I can't get a long-term
yeah.
booking. But I mean, because why limit yourself?
I agree. And market's huge too, man. What market you're in? See, we ain't in a market where we just have. Well, I don't know. DFW, you can get real close in DFW. But yeah, I still like to have those short terms as well. Like I need some short term to cover a vacancy or, you know, and then like make it so you can make your mortgage. You know what I mean? So
hmm I'll tell you something that so I just started managing for a buddy of mine, right?
okay,
These are like our best friends that we have here in the area that we have. Me and my wife, we have our best
yeah,
friends. Shout out to Fabi and David. But anyways, they moved up to Carrollton, right?
okay,
And the house they left behind is in Grand Prairie.
ooh, okay,
So yeah, so it's over there, off 20 and Carrier that way.
okay,
And I like that area. I have houses in that area. It does great. And it's a good area, good houses. Their house is nice, furnished nicely, and so they pretty much left everything, most of the furniture behind, and they switched out a few things that they took with them. But they asked me, okay, we're gonna ask you to manage it for us, please. And so, I was like, yeah, yeah, it seems like it'll do good. They said, can you get mostly corporate? They start saying, I'm like, well, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Nothing's guaranteed. But when I can't, I'm gonna put Airbnb. I don't want it to sit empty. I'm gonna put Airbnb in there or whatever, shorter stays, and they're cool with that. So right off the bat, I got like a stay for a week. They were cool with that, and because it just went up and running like this past Thanksgiving, right? And so, and then we got another booking, but it was like gonna be like 7 adults, and they're all in like 60s and 70s. I don't know, it was a weird booking. I was like, I don't know. They're talking about a family gathering, family reunion, and I was like, I don't want to. Right off the bat, start having parties at my buddy's house. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
we turned. That's all. Turn it down. Turn it down. And then the next day, we got a call, or Manu, like I said, he handles the corporate side. He got a call right away. They need something uh in Grand Prairie. They want, this many bedrooms, all that stuff. The criteria that
yeah,
it fit. And they said, yeah, we got one that's available now because, I try to keep my places filled, right? So the only house that was available was theirs because we just got it up and running. And I hadn't even got the permit yet. I was gonna start the process to get the permit, right, for short
hmm
term. And but I always kind of, list it first and get the permit,
yeah,
get some traction a little bit. And then So they said, "Can we see it right now?" I think the corporate company was Sedgwick.
Sedgwick? Yeah, yeah, I know Sedgwick.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we've dealt with them before. They're great. So I like the speed. They're
Yeah.
fast, man. And so they can they see it right now? And luckily it was clean and ready to be viewed. And they said we said, yeah, yeah, you can go see it right now. Here's the door code. You can do a self tour. Anyways, so my buddy David, he just learning how this stuff works, right? He didn't tell me he was going by the house.
Oh man.
He knew it was, he knew it got cleaned and turned over, and we didn't have a guest yet. He knew that much 'cause I was, informing him. So he went by the house without telling us, and
Oh
no,
man.
I could have been bad. It could have been
Okay.
bad. Could have been bad. I'd say it like that. But he called me up. He's like, this after, about an hour, 30 minutes, an hour after, they were gonna go see it. He said, "Hey man, so there was a tour today?" It's like, yeah, how'd you know? He's like, well, I forgot, I didn't tell you, but I went by the house to go grab some things from the garage, and then some people showed up to go to tour the house.
Oh man.
'Cause we told him no one's gonna be there. It's
Yeah.
like a self tour. He said, but I introduced myself and said, I'm the homeowner, and they were a really nice couple, older couple. We talked, we had a lot of things in common, and my buddy's a real people person, man.
Okay.
He
Good.
used to be the guy that he used to work for like the city of Arlington to go, to bring business into the city, right?
Oh,
He
okay.
used to
Yeah.
back in the day. So he was the guy. He was the guy to go talk people up, and he's a salesman, real good
Yeah.
salesman. And so he made a good rapport with them. They liked him. They loved the house and everything, and said, "Yeah, yeah, the wife likes it. We like it. We want to go ahead and move forward." He's like, "All right, cool. I guess you're gonna talk to Steve because he handles the house, and you'll probably never see me again unless something, yeah, the house, I might have to come fix or something."
Yeah.
All right, cool. So it ended up being good. It could have been bad. It could have been
Yeah.
you could have been dropping a deuce while they're starting the tour.
Oh man.
I had to say, bro, you gotta let me know, man. Because we do. It's
Yes,
not just
man.
Airbnb. We do tours. We're always trying to get people in there.
Bro, I have had that issue as well, man. People, no, oh man, I've even had that issue with the insurance company, bro. So, in one of my properties, the owner does watch the cameras a lot, right? She's gotten out of it now, but she watched the cameras a lot. So we had this lady, and like talking to her on the phone, I could tell we weren't gonna. I'm like, she ain't a fit. Like, she was talking about. I told her, well, this property's available, and she had like something smart to say about everything. Oh, I don't like that property. That property used to be good, but I just don't like that neighborhood. It's just going downhill. People don't bring their trash in, stuff. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, she's gonna be a complainer. But we ended up sending her to this other property. And when she goes to the property, she we no, no, we didn't send her to the property. We had just told her we had another one available. And I think she found it because we ALE or one of those companies has it in their database. And we had somebody staying there. And the property wasn't empty. She went over there, bro. Like she went over there, tried to get in. People weren't there, luckily. And then, like, I figured we looked at the camera, like, afterwards, okay, she can't get in, she'll leave. She starts walking around the back door, like a backyard, like crazy. Like, bro, what are you doing?
Could have got
So,
shot.
yeah, like we're in Little Rock, Arkansas, bro. Like somebody will shoot you for some crap like this, right? So she starts walking around the back, and then like I'm like, okay, well maybe that was the end of it. She goes, no, she went through my mailbox. So she has it on camera, like this woman's going through her mailbox. So I'm like, what the is wrong with this lady, bro? So anyways, I think I forgot what company it was. I don't even want to put the company out there. The company was like, "Hey, the lady toured it and she liked it." And I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna let y'all know we just can't house her. She went to the house unannounced. She like started taking stuff out the mailbox.
Oh
They
my
were like, "Are you
God.
sure?" And we sent her the video. She was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Yeah, we can't house this lady." So some guests and some owners all illustrate, but that time I'm happy the owner looked because I'm like, that could have got bad. Like you going through people's mailboxes, bro. Like, yeah, bro. So it's some people it's just like, bro, what are you doing? But yeah,
And so, man, that's crazy. But oh, the end of the story, or
yeah,
the good part of the story. So they did like the house. They wanted to move forward. And so he asked me, I was like, okay, cool. They're gonna send it to the adjuster and say they like it, see what they say. And they said they told us it should be an easy approval.
okay,
And he said, "Oh, cool. How much am I going to get a month for this?" I said, you're going to get 5,100 a month for this one for 8 months at least, and then month to month after that." He's like, "Are you shitting me?" He's like, "Are you?
Yeah.
Oh my God." He's like, to him, this is a lot of money. It is
Yeah.
pretty good money.
Yeah,
But
good.
I had told Manu, to set it up at 6,000 or 6,500 initially.
Yeah.
It gives us some room. But he set it up at 5,000 on the Zillow, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It's the first booking. That's cool.
Yeah.
And they own the house, so their mortgage is lower than as someone that's going to arbitrage a
Oh, they're
house.
winning all day.
So
Yeah.
to them, I don't know what their mortgage is, maybe 1,000, maybe 15, but to them, they're making this huge spread instead
Mhm.
of, what you can get in that area for 3.2, probably 22 to 2,400 bucks a month, So they're making double,
Yeah.
you know, and then the $100 was the pet fee, so
Yeah.
5,000 then 100 a month for the pet fee, and so they're like over the moon. And we had
Yeah.
a party like at his house a couple of days later because he turned 65,
Oh,
and,
nice.
and he's just bragging me all over the room. Oh, Steve, he got my house rented for 5,000 bucks a month and this and that because a lot
Yeah.
of people had rental houses in that neighborhood in Carrollton. You get some
Heck yeah.
hoity-toity people, and oh man, I need to talk to you about my rental houses and this and that. I was like, all right, it was a good one. As results aren't typical, but we try. I'm not gonna get someone in there. Hey, man, where's my $5,000 booking?
Yeah. People get that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. You got Terry booked for 5,000. Where? Hold on, bro.
I've had that.
For real.
I've had that. But the thing is, it's a house fire was what they had.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's 8 months at least. And if you ever housed someone that's been through a house fire,
Yeah, it's
I've had
wild.
them there over a year in
Same here.
one of my places because it takes a long time, man.
Yeah. For real. I've had that happen too. Like had them over a year and they're paying like 4 or 5 grand. Like we have one dude, he's been there for 9 months, paying 5,300.
Mm.
And I'm like, damn, but insurance covering it, man. They like, hey, like we thought they were gonna be out last month. It's like, hey man, we need another extension. I'm like, oh. And I think they're gonna extend. I'm gonna be, and that's another thing, like house fires, insurance claims, they're good to have around the holidays because most of them people ain't working like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and it pushes back timelines. So you're probably going to go well into the first of the year. Just a little heads up for y'all.
Well, that makes sense, right? Now the
Yeah.
money can run out though from the insurance company.
Oh, that hasn't happened. That
The
happened to you?
money is a couple of times,
Okay, what happened in
and I
that
think it's
situation?
Allstate. I think Allstate's is the worst insurance to
Oh,
have. But yeah, I mean that situation, the guests that were staying there hit us up directly and said, "Hey, the money's already. They said we're gonna have to be out this month, but our house ain't ready. They still got a lot to do. Can we pay you directly?" And so that's when you kind of work out a deal with them. They can't stay. You're still gonna make good money with them. You're not gonna get that 6,500 insurance money. You know what I'm saying? But you still
yeah.
can make a decent amount of change. And so I've done situations like that where I've given them a discount because I'm dealing directly with them, and they're going month to month after that.
Okay. Now, like, question on something like that. Are you verifying their income?
The times I did it. No, I
I
did
was
not.
wondering.
I did not. I did not. Um,
I mean, they should have it. Hell, you ain't paying your mortgage right now. Insurance. Sure. I mean, I don't know. I was wondering that because, like, I I have not. I know I have had that happen before, but then they ended up getting an extension. So I don't know if the money might have been coming directly from them. I don't know, but yeah, I was wondering that. Like, do you verify their because just because they got a house, But that's a good that's a good scenario. Yeah, people should be aware of that because then you also have to do. Are you going to run a new background check on them too? So it's interesting. But I did have one thing I definitely wanted to talk to you about that stood out to me. PadSplit. What's going on?
Oh man.
Oh, this is good.
Hey, yeah, that's the thing, man. This is more high maintenance than a lot of stuff
Oh,
because the clientele you're dealing with, not all of them. Some of them are just stay in the room, you never hear from them. That's cool. But there are some vocal ones, and there
yeah.
are some ones with issues. And there was a guy there that he should have been in a assisted living place, right? He shouldn't be in a pad split because he's really, really big, and he had health issues and stuff, hard time getting around. And what kept happening is he'd have accidents in the bathroom and leave feces on the seat, on the floor. It just started. It happened a few times. Of course, the other pad mates are like, man, the whole house is mess stinks because he's doing that, and I'm sending my cleaner out in the middle of the night to go, get that stuff clean for them, and they're I have to pay them, and of course, I'm sending all this receipts to PadSplit. I ain't got a penny from all these things that are happening yet, man. That's the thing.
Oh,
I'm sending all this stuff, and but yeah, he just had kept having issues with that kind of stuff. And I said, bro, I said, man, you got to go because the people are like, we're gonna leave. If he ain't leaving, we're gonna leave because we can't live
oh,
with this, And then they said we want to have a nice Thanksgiving together. Some of them start becoming friends and stuff. And he goes, and then the house is gonna smell like, God, his room stinks, and just
oh.
it's he should be in a assisted living
How old was he?
facility. He ain't that old. He's probably around 60, 55, 60. I don't know. He ain't super old, but he just has some big health issues going on.
Um, yeah, he should be able to get like a he should be able to get like health care. Mahogany's new
Yeah,
job. She can get stuff like that for people. Well, I don't know if he fits the age criteria, but yeah, that's crazy. I didn't think about
he
stuff
was
like
on
that.
Social Security disability. That's what he was on. And I talked to him, and he was a nice guy. He just had those health issues, man. And he said he'd been in a home before because I guess his son put him in one, and he left it because he just couldn't deal with it. That's why he started this pad split thing. I think I was his first pad split experience. And
I'm gonna be real. Remember when we first started doing PadSplit, and I said, and I was wondering, I said, with this being such a unique model right now, and a lot of people are after it because one of the things you did touch on in the notes was affordability in the U.S. right now, right?
mm,
So affordability sky high, and you got people that are needing cheaper places to live. So PadSplit fits, right? However, who are we housing, right? And I think Social Security was one of them. You know, and it goes back to the old adage I said, I think on the last podcast, the higher the cash flow, the bigger the risk. Because now you're having people that, may be a little bit more vocal, may have health issues. Because even remember we were talking about the halfway houses. By the way, that video we posted about the halfway houses went crazy on TikTok. Like we had like 10,000 shares, 7,000 likes, and like 100 something comments on that
mm.
video. But the comments that were coming in were people that have halfway houses. Some of them, my dude, them dude was like, yeah, man, my uncle got 3 or 4 halfway houses. He balling, but you got to deal with some stuff. Like I was like, oh, but I was like, man, I want to get your uncle on a podcast because I want to hear the people that have to deal with the extra stuff because we are now getting in a situation in America where affordability is hard. So people are going to get creative. And now when you start having pad splits, and I've even heard Brandon Turner talk about pad splits, he goes, it is a lot more maintenance, but he's completely hands off. But I mean, how much money is that costing you? You know what I mean? Sometimes being hands off in a situation like that can cost you money. And you start looking at financial statements like, damn, we got to make a change. So, yeah, it's interesting. I was wondering about the pad split. So, what are your ending thoughts on it? Are you going to continue it or how is it looking for you?
I'm gonna stick with it. It is still the
Okay.
early stages for me. It's
Okay.
making good money. It is. There's other situations that are happening too. I mean, here's another thing.
Okay.
It's it's a human nature,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the tribalism starts happening in those pad splits where this group over here don't like this one person or this, they
Oh.
start teaming up on each other, like the
MTV Real World back in the day.
Survivor Island shit, man. And then I'm getting these phone calls and I'm like, I don't know who to believe and I don't care. I don't want to hear all this. I don't have to deal with this when I'm
Oh,
doing corporate and stuff. It's
yeah.
just a different animal because it's
Okay.
people living together.
Have you have you figured out how to like have your team start taking over those challenges, or is it coming directly to you?
Now with these two houses, remember I told you I wanted to learn the ropes myself. So
Okay.
I spoke to them in person and they got my damn phone number. That's the problem.
S-
Because yeah. But the next pad split, no one's getting my phone number. They're getting the virtual assistant's phone number and
Yeah.
they're gonna deal with it. Now I can show them how to deal with situations like that. Now,
That's where AI comes in, bro. It would tell you how to do that. Like, hey, I got this pad because AI knows what pad split is. Hey, I got this pad split. This is the situation. You can have them take care of it, man. Then have your VAs do the AI. But go ahead. I want to hear the rest of this. This is good.
yeah, but it's unique situations, and it's not something like Airbnb. It's
Mm.
not, you're not dealing or corporate or even long-term rentals. It's a totally different beast, man. And so that's why I'm trying to learn. I've learned what to do when someone starts busting out windows in your house. So I learned what to do when someone starts pooping everywhere. I learned what to do when someone's the total tries to be the house manager and start, snitching on everybody and getting everybody
Oh
kicked out.
man.
It's so much different. There's so many different things, man. And so it's hard to just say, okay, this is how you deal with these situations. Dude, it's different.
You know what's funny? Um, maybe pad split. Because I used to rent out rooms in my house, right? I rented out the 3 upstairs rooms.
Hmm.
We never had any issues. However, we were on site.
Yeah.
Maybe pad split should make it so you can have one at reduced rent who's like the pad split manager of the house.
And there are people that set it up that way. And
They are
they pay him a little bit or they take some, yeah, like you said,
takes
take
off
it
the
off
rent,
the
right?
rent. And then they, have them they can clean the common areas, make sure everything's good, and then make sure everybody's acting right at the house.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's a strategy.
Okay, it is.
But yeah,
What are your pros and cons against that? For or against it?
I guess finding the right person, because I'm just meeting these people too. What if I
Okay.
put a crazy Karen in charge because I think, oh, she sounds cool, is she
Oh
gonna take, and then she's just in everybody's shit. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm kind of
damn.
dealing with that right now, but luckily
Oh.
she's heading out. She's heading out this Sunday. So,
And
yeah,
how long does it take you to get people out?
so you put a they get a 14-day notice. That's the minimum, right? When
Okay.
you hit that 14-day notice button for them to vacate, PadSplit will say, "Well, you should give them at least a month." It tries to convince you the bot tries to convince you, hey, maybe 30 days is better. And I said, no, get them the hell out. So now that's the PadSplit. That's the PadSplit notice to vacate. It ain't nothing backed by law or nothing. That's the thing. So if after that 14 days comes and that person ain't out, then you got to do your own getting them out. You know what I'm saying? You got to go put your
Oh.
3-day notice and do the whole eviction thing.
But they get kicked off the pad split platform if they don't get out, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Because, yeah, they would need somewhere else to stay. Okay.
Yeah, but I hear it's easy for a lot of these people to start to get around all these getting kicked off of platforms, even getting evictions. There's people with evictions that are getting by, we've known that forever, that are
On
getting
pad split?
houses. Well, people getting houses with evictions on them because they're using
Yeah.
either stolen or borrowed information to get into these
Yeah.
houses. That's the thing. And I think they can do that on things like PadSplit and Airbnb.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I don't know.
Airbnb don't care if you got an eviction.
Yeah, they don't care if you got an eviction. As long as you ain't got no felony, they'll kick you off. You got a felony, but if you've been evicted, they come right on in. But I don't know. That's crazy though. I didn't know. And I listened to Brandon Turner's podcast a lot. He did say that. He said, it is a little bit few more issues on PadSplit, but he didn't go into depth like you're doing. And
Because he
I
ain't
do.
managing them. I know he ain't
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
managing
He
them.
ain't
He don't
managing
have
them.
time for manage a
Yeah,
$700 a month pad split
yeah.
or room.
And he's not. But it made me think like, okay, and that's what it went back to is like whenever you start getting into housing, split housing like that, what type of guest are you running into? Because even when I have a house hacked, there were certain guests I didn't want around for a long time. Like I'd be like, this person, you should probably stay a month and leave. So you do have those. Like my best guests were like students, people that needed to go that are in like school and need to go to the therapy school up here in Arlington. The sports science people, I love them. They were the best ones. They were busy, but yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, and I thought about the next pad split house just trying it off the PadSplit platform
Hmm.
and going that route, putting only furnished finders or Airbnb stays in for each room. I thought about trying that because I have a buddy that does that. He don't do PadSplit, but he rents by the room up there in Dallas, and he keeps them filled just from Airbnb and furnished finders
Man, I was thinking the same thing too. Like when I used to do it on Airbnb by room, man, I never had issues. But
because they get
that
rated,
was
right?
yes, I never had issues. My most issue guests were when they came in off platform by the room. Yeah, by the room,
Mm.
they're very low maintenance because you're looking at a certain that demographic, like on Airbnb, a by room rental, that demographic, they're just looking for a place to lay their head. But you do have to tell them like, hey, you can't have company. You can have a max of two. Now, whenever it's two, yeah, you're gonna probably have issues with the other guests. Like if it's a male and a female, and they got to do the do, and it's people next door, bro. Bro, like, hey, they're a little loud next door. You know what I mean? We've had that guy. Now we did have a guy who was. I'll just say he wasn't bringing his wife with him, but we had one of those. So, yeah. So it's
And
certain
you can get some
things.
extra money off of him.
Oh man, so it's certain things you do deal with, like, and this is for everybody listening. Whenever you get into high cash flow things, there are greater risks, so you do have to. There's going to be a bigger vetting process, but I think with PadSplit, I think once you learn how to delegate everything to your team, I think it'll work out. I mean, you're gonna have some issues. I think you're seeing that goes okay. You know how we were talking about automating everything to AI? You might have to you might can't do that because you have to get them to learn PadSplit, but you can use AI to how to help you with issues. But yeah, stuff like that, you probably need a human like to take those phone calls. Hey, this person's pooping over here. This person's busting out windows. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's that's a tough one, man.
And you can rate the members, right?
Okay.
You can rate them, and you could put things about them, right? And that but here's the thing with that. It's a balancing act because I have one of the pad mates. Yeah, this guy's pooping everywhere, blah blah blah. And then I go in there. I have to because he keeps doing this. I have to leave a in order to put the notice to vacate. It's asking me why, and I said and I was truthful. This guy has health issues. He's making messes in the bathroom, blah blah blah. And but the thing is, when he puts in for another place within that 14-day period, they're all getting denied. Because who's gonna want someone that's pooping everywhere? You know what I'm saying? That's the thing.
Damn.
You try to be honest and but no one else is gonna accept them. And then next thing you know, they're off the platform. He went ahead and left early. He took off early. But yeah. So when you do rank someone, I guess the good part is as a pad split host, I can go in there and see all the reviews on somebody. And it's funny because the one busting out windows that had the crazy, mental problems, all the recent reviews, the ones I saw, I didn't know there was a page two. The way the thing was set up,
Oh.
all the recent reviews, oh, he's great, great, great guest, great, blah, 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 great pad mate, blah. I went when all these issues would happen, I went back and looked at those reviews again, and I hit page two, which were older reviews. It was those same mofos that were his roommates left like all this crazy stuff. This dude's crazy, blah blah blah. He's doing crazy stuff.
Oh.
But I guess they decided, or the host was like, "Hey man, y'all got to start leaving some positive reviews to this guy, or he's never gonna leave." So then they started leaving these fake positive reviews, and then so the next host would read them and say, "Okay, I'll take him on." You know what I'm saying? So the same guys that was complaining on him changed their tune and they left glowing reviews right before he left.
So okay, so this is where PadSplit might have to work out a little bit better. So like, okay, we're gonna leave fake reviews for this guy, but we've left bad reviews, right?
Mhm.
So okay, so if we leave a bad review, meaning he won't leave because no one else will take him.
Yeah, because
That's
they'll
bull.
see the bad reviews. Yeah.
That's some BS. Because hold on now, let's say you've already given him the 14 days, right?
hmm
And he's getting denied, denied, denied. He still has to be out, right?
Well, he has to be out, but then if that 14 days comes and goes, I have to put the 3-day notice for it to vacate. I have to do that. That's just a pad split thing. That 14 days, that's a pad split. That ain't no legal binding or nothing. I have to go put the legally, 3-day notice to vacate through, send it to the courts, all that crap, If I want him out, and he refuses to leave, I still have to evict him.
How, okay. What's your average stay on PadSplit? No, let's do
Yeah.
more realistic. What was the crazy guy's average? What was how long was he there for?
Let me see, 4 or 5 months. I think
He was
four.
supposed to be there for four or
No,
five
maybe,
months.
no, maybe around 3 or 4 months. I don't know, something like that. Then he
Okay, and
started
he
acting crazy. Yeah.
how long into the stay did he start acting crazy?
He was acting weird at first, right? He was actually the
Okay,
first guest of that house. And
okay.
he'd walk around I see him on the cameras and it looked like he was walking around in drawers, like boy short drawers and without a shirt. And I was like, dude, what do you, I was like, man, we got neighbors. Can you put some clothes on, please?
Oh,
Okay. He just one word answers. Dude was weird. I started noticing that, right? And then then we started getting guests. And I guess the first thing he did was kick out that under the sink. He kicked out that the cabinet door under the sink. That was the first thing. And so and then he cussed out the group, quit touching my shit. That was his first like, whoa, what's this guy up to, man?
okay. So I guess what I would think you could do, could you just issue 30-day notices every 30 days? Maybe like put something in there to protect you. Like, um, hey, we know this is pad split or whatever. Just in case it doesn't work out, we're issuing a 30-day notice in case it doesn't work out with, I wouldn't want to say with their behavior. I'm pretty sure we could get ChatGPT to write something up.
What I'm learning is to just if something's wrong with the guest, because even with the guy pooping, I was hesitant to get him out because I felt bad. He's a cool dude, and I thought, okay, maybe he's cool now, maybe it's gonna work. I hesitated. I
Yeah,
hesitated with
yeah.
that crazy guy, and it just got worse and worse. I hesitated with this guy, and it got worse and worse. I was like, once you start noticing crazy behavior, hit that 14-day button because at least it'll start the clock. You know what I'm saying? And then you can deal with what you got to deal with if they don't leave.
Okay, this is what I'm saying though. Let's say you start that 14-day clock, but they don't leave. So couldn't you protect yourself and you have no 30, because in Texas it's 30 days, right?
30 days?
You
Oh,
have to
for
give
you
a th-
talking about lease for like a lease?
well to evict somebody.
No,
I
it,
think
it
they
could take months. It could take months to get someone out.
yeah, so I'm saying how could you protect yourself immediately by issuing a 30-day notice along with the 14-day?
Well, you do the 3-day notice first.
3-day, okay.
You do the 3-day notice first.
3 days.
And then if they haven't left in 3 days, then you file the official eviction with the county. But you have to show them proof that you put the
You
30-day
served them.
the 3-day notice on the door and the blah blah blah. Yeah, you served them. You show them the camera. You served them, and then you start the official eviction process.
Oof.
Now, how long it takes for them to get to your eviction, it could be different, man. Like Dallas
Oof.
County, it took 3, 4, 5, whatever, how many months. Tarrant might be quicker. So it just depends on the county, but the thing is, now with Crazy Guy, the first guy, was like worried about him doing, hurting somebody. I
Oh.
didn't. I said that this 14. I talked to the people at PadSplit. I said this 14-day thing is bullshit. I want him out today. He's doing stupid stuff. Well, he goes, well, you can serve him the 3-day notice and
Mhm.
um and then go that route. And so I did. I went there and served that 3-day notice, to him because I wasn't going to do the whole 14-day thing. I mean, I clicked the 14-day button too, but I said that 14-day don't mean nothing. This is a 3-day notice. You got to be out. Oh, but the PadSplit says I got 14 days. He's kind of like they like think that PadSplit's the law. No, this is my
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
I'm the law. You got to kind of tell him that.
Yeah.
And so I mean, he ended up leaving. I think he stayed like a couple days after that 3-day notice. He said I just gotta get my stuff blah blah blah. But I mean, you could get somebody that's now. Here's the thing too. This is like PadSplit's like a last resort for a lot of people.
I can
If
see
if
that.
if they can if all they can do after they burn so many bridges is rent a bedroom out somewhere, that's they really don't want to mess that up. And they get kicked off a PadSplit, then they're kind of screwed.
I was thinking that too, because I felt like when I kept asking like what kind of clientele, maybe it is serving like the last resort clientele, like the guy who, hey, I just need a bedroom. It's a certain demographic.
No,
Like,
I will say most of the guests are great,
yeah, I
but
would think so.
I've had those two, well, the crazy guy is the worst. And then the health issues guy, that's,
It's
I
just
was
a health issue.
bad, but it's
Yeah,
health issue stuff. He's not,
correct.
hurting nobody. And then the other house, you got a bit of a Karen over there trying to run the roost, and then in everybody's stuff. So that
To
complaining
me,
all the time.
it just sounds like PadSplit. It's personality quirks that are the biggest issue.
Yes. And
Okay, it's
that,
personality
that
quirks.
was well the one that like I said, the kind of Karen one. And it's funny. I always think I wonder if they listen to our show. But the crazy the Karen-ish one. I'm not saying maybe she's cool, whatever. But when she put in to come into to rent one of the rooms at my house,
Mhm.
right? She like I the red flags were kind of there. She was like, yeah, I just these roommates, they don't respect anything. They leave messes and they're up all hours. They're bringing people in. The
Oh,
owner of the house, kind of had me looking over everything and this and that. And but I put in my notice today. I just need a place. I need a place, and I'm a good. I keep my place clean and blah blah blah. And so I had some red flags come up like, oh man, she's already complaining about everybody in the house. So everybody's bad. One of those people that, at work
yeah.
that complains on everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
You know
man.
the type, that one person that just everybody's,
Ah,
out to against them, out to get them. I had those
real.
vibes really, really strong, because I've known
Yeah,
people like that. And
for
so,
sure.
and sure enough, I mean, she hopped around rooms. She started complaining on other people in the house and just, whoo, it was, but she's leaving,
Yeah.
and she's leaving. But yeah, so that's like a whole different thing is that I'm learning this. There's different personality
Yeah.
types, like you said.
And I think like I think that's where you're going to get really good at pad split is figuring out like, even like the lady who was saying all this, how old is she?
About, eh, 47, 48, somewhere around there.
See, that's what I was thinking. Could you have a 47, 48 with these younger kids, 20 something?
Yeah.
Maybe you have to start kind of like grading, like, see, and I don't know, are you even allowed to put like an age limit on them? Because maybe is
No,
that
you're not
discrimination?
supposed to. No.
Shh. Yeah,
Now,
see.
now, now, here's the thing with
Okay.
PadSplit. Anybody can request to stay at your house, and you can deny them without even talking to them. So you don't
Okay.
have to give a reason. Now, if you go in there and put a reason,
Oh,
say, oh, they're too old or they're too young or they're too whatever, then that's could get you in trouble. But you'll hit no deny and they'll ask you why. Oh, I don't feel they're a good fit. Or you don't, it's something vague, right? And
yeah,
then
yeah.
and then boom, you're denied somebody. Now, yeah, if you start talking to them and stuff, the same thing. I mean, I still want to interview people, right? If I think they're a good, if I know they're not going to be a good fit, I just deny them immediately. If I think they might be a good fit, then I'll talk to them one on one and just get a feel for them, right? And I can still deny them, and I don't have to say anything, right? I just say, oh,
Yeah.
it's not
Mhm.
available. I don't know, whatever you want to say. And so yeah, there is a discrimination stuff, but you can deny anybody you want.
Okay. And then like, what are you? So like, they kind of send like a profile of themselves.
So you get to
Or,
see their driver's license. I guess just like when someone applies at an apartment complex, you
oh,
see
so you
their.
can judge them off race and all that stuff, huh?
I'm not saying I.
I know, not saying us. We know, but like, if if
Someone
you have,
could. Someone could.
okay,
Yes,
that's what I
someone
was saying,
could.
because remember Airbnb started getting in trouble for that, and that's when they
Right.
start, hey,
Right.
no fake, So you could, okay,
You
Eh,
could if you wanted to. I will say most of my pad mates are minorities. I will say most of them are
okay.
minorities. So
So
I just I talk to them and get a feel for them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And then and go from there.
okay. I was wondering because I'm like, I haven't done pad split, but I'm like listening to what you're going through, and I'm like, man, because I had to kind of start doing that when I was doing my rent by the room, like, hey, what are you coming for? Where are you at? Um, and then a lot of them. the issue I ran into too is they would try to ask, "Hey, can I book off the platform?" And if it was from Airbnb, I'm like, "Nah." I made them that back then. I made them stick to Airbnb. But honestly, if for rent by the room and I'm living there, I would definitely stick to the platform. Like, hey, no, stick to Airbnb. So if something goes wrong, I can just cancel your reservation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's. I think it just comes with different challenges, you know. And I think finding that happy medium with personalities, that can be tough. And then like the age thing's tough too, you know. If she's older and saying all these people are young, I mean, they're young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, and she was telling me, whatever you do, don't let young men into the house. She was like already telling me who not to let,
yeah.
because
See,
they're the worst, you know. And I've had, though, to me, young dudes have been the best so far, the best
yeah.
pad mates.
And that's kind of what I was saying about FIFA. Men don't complain. Like we ain't too much gonna complain. The only time you see men complain on Airbnb is if their wife with them. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. Their wives is with them. Their wife's with them. Like the easiest who's the easiest guest that's gonna stay a long time and not complain? A construction crew.
Oh,
They ain't
man.
ever gonna say nothing. They like
nothing.
for real. They be like, man, your toilet's leaking, man. I went ahead and fixed it for you, bro. For real, man. Hey, some of them be like, I'm undocumented. Don't even tell nobody I'm here. So, hey, you ain't got no issue with it. Hey, I'm gonna shut the hell up. You shut the hell up. Just pay me. But I'm for real. So, like, that goes back like that 20, like how you said, those 20-year-olds. Yeah, they ain't gonna complain, but they might bring a girl in or something. You know what I mean? So Karen's over there watching in the corner. Go mind your damn business. But you know, but you get those personality quirks, man.
Yeah, it's a different animal, man. I'm telling you. But
Yeah.
I'm still learning the ropes, and I'll let you know how it goes. I might try one more and see how it goes. I like the money. The money's nice, but
yeah, and I said that high cash flow, man, it comes with problems. The more money, hey, what Mr. Diddy say? More money, more problems, and you can see he got a bunch of problems. But yes,
yep.
So I guess we're gonna end this on a Diddy note. But
Diddy note. Free Diddy.
Oh no! Oh man, but yeah.
Well, cool, brother. It's been a great show.
Yeah, man.
Where can people find us, Mike?
Find us on Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Instagram at Live Let Thrive, TikTok at Live Let Thrive. By the way, I'm going to try to get some that guest on about the halfway houses. But yeah, this is a really good episode. Y'all, thank y'all for continuing to listen to us. I know it's been a while since we dropped an episode, but we are definitely here to stay, and we got some more heat coming to you. So definitely stay tuned. We are out. Peace. Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.